Hello, everyone. My name's Charlie Edwards. I'm current European champion, former WBC flyweight world champion. Um, and yeah, man, I'm back on top, and we're looking to become a two-weight world champion. Very highly ranked in all the governing bodies now, and my promotion, Nissa and Keller Sowland and Wasserman, they're currently having conversations, getting ready for what's next for me. So I'm in a very good position again after a few inactive years of boxing politics, and it's so good to be back.
And let's just start right there. How does it feel to be European champion?
Feels amazing, like this kind of the build up to the fight. My brother picking Thomas's side because he manages him. My old team in his corner. Like it's been a great journey, After the years of turmoil, we're back in big time boxing, and it really felt like big time boxing. And to fight for the European title, a title that I've always wanted to win throughout my career, from the young ages of just turning pro, I always looked towards the European title, and it never happened. So it's a belt that I'm happy to have. It was an experience in itself, a surreal experience with all the fight week, all the build up. But most of all, it's put me back where I belong, and that's another step on the journey to chase greatness. Like I'm in this sport now for legacy. My dreams and ambitions and goals is to go down as one of the British greats in boxing, and that's to do that. I have to win 4 world titles. So I'm on that trajectory now. European number one, European bantamweight champion, very high ranked in the governing bodies in the world at bantamweight, and we're even looking down at super flyweight if we can go straight into a world title shot. So it's all systems go my end, and like I said, we're chasing greatness, but that European title for me, it means so much.
And how was it fighting against someone that obviously you said your old team was involved? Charlie, or sorry, Sonny was involved on the other side as well. It must have been quite a difficult experience, sort of blocking that out and just trying to focus on the fight.
Yeah, 100%. It definitely brought more pressure, but pressures make diamonds, as they always say. And it's the kind of pressure that I love and I thrive off. And yeah, it was kind of like a personal growth journey, to go up against my brother in their camp, like, and then my old gym in their camp. It was like it made everything to have my back up against the wall. It made me push even harder. It made me be more focused, and in the fight, he tried to kind of just be a tricky, negative fighter, um, and try and nick the fight on me. Like he didn't really want to engage. He didn't really want to do much. He just made it awkward, and that was probably my old team behind that as well, thinking that the old Charlie Edwards would have got emotionally involved and wanted to prove a point and just come out and try and fight, and they would have been able to drag me into something, but it was another tick on my box because I boxed a very technical fight, very emotionless fight. I had my old gym mate Dalton Smith, who's a very good friend of mine. We've even got the same birthday. In the corner, shouting, "Move to the right, throw the body shot," and I was thinking, "Shut the fuck up, you!" But I had to keep my emotions and that in check, and it was good. I enjoyed it, and I won a very comfortable points win. I was one step ahead of him. I outworked him. I hit him with very clean shots, encounters, and it was a good night's work altogether. So I really enjoyed it. I think it's going to have grown me massively for my next fight.
And then now after your fire announcements and your relationship with Sonny seems to be a lot stronger post fight. And I know you didn't have any particular massive beef within the sort of build up to the fight, but has this relationship, is it the strongest it's been since you both turned pro and turned over into the game?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like it's the most closest we've been since we used to share rooms together as kids. As that's mad to sound, it really brought us closer together. We collaborated on a great event. It's just show business, baby, and we played our part, and it's sports entertainment, and it showed how big we are together as a brand. The Edwards name is skyrocketing right now, and us two together bouncing off one another, being back to them two young boys who used to bounce off each other, just being ourselves in front of the cameras, lights, action, and having our business mindset on the shoulders. It just goes to show like the world is our oyster as well. One day we'll put like he's managing a lot of fighters now. I manage myself. who knows later on? Like we might have fighters fighting amongst each other. Do you know what I mean? We might go into the promotional role like Nissa and Keller Sowland and start being co-promoters, etc., etc. So it it's great, you know. I'm happy. Like we're in a really good place, and now we're going into the Bloodline event, Sonny Edwards versus Galal Yafai. Uh, another great event coming up, and one that's got a lot of history in from me and Khalid Yafai days, from him dodging me for 6 years, and running scared. So it's like now we're a force. You know what I mean? It's like it feels like we're in a movie, to be honest. Do you know what I mean? That the life that we've lived is crazy, but now we're going into full systems ahead. Like I said, I've had 2 weeks off. I've been on the training ban from Stephen Smith, and then I go away to Sweden, start training for a couple of weeks, and then I go and join Sonny in camp and really help him push for the Galal fight. So, man, life's good right now.
Yeah, it seems to like that you work very well in cohesion. Obviously, he helped you out with the fight against the Somba, the promotion. He obviously co-promoted it, obviously being a Somba's manager. But at the same time, you going over to the press conference for the Yafai, the Bloodline press conference. I think you both sort of can work really well together, helping each other, or maybe even just outside of the ring, and helping each other promote shows. And it really shows a storyline that people I think are really invested in.
Yeah, 100%. I would agree with that. We're like chalk and cheese, or like we're like he's like my yin to my yang. Do you know what I mean? Like we balance each other out very well. We're so different, and we've got so different personalities. But when them two come together, it's scary. We're like Ant and Dec, aren't we, of the boxing world? So yeah, the world's our oyster, and whatever we decide to do going forward, we've got our own careers to focus on now. We're helping each other throughout it. We're being there to support one another, and two brothers together are a lot stronger than two brothers apart. So yeah, we're in big time boxing at the minute.
Yeah. And how important is your relationship with Wasserman and with Nissa and Kala Sowland? How does it feel to have a sort of like, as you said, big time boxing and a prime time platform to showcase your skills onto?
Yeah, it feels great, you know. Like my Instagram profile has gone mental since my fight. I've got like 2.1 million views. Like, and that's from all terrestrial telly fighting on Channel 5 with Nissa, Keller, Sowland, and Wasserman behind me, you know. I'm grateful for them guys. Like they brought me back to the light. They give me the platform, they give me the activity, they give me everything I've asked for, the titles, the European title, Thomas. Now I'm asking for Japan, and they're trying to deliver that for me. So we're all on the same page. We're all pushing forward. I'm a big fish on Channel 5, you know. So like I said, the world is my oyster now, and working with them, I've really enjoyed working with them. But not only just them, like their whole team, the whole support team, the whole media team, the whole PR team. Like it's a good setup, and yeah, man. Like I said, sometimes you just arrive in the right place at the right time. And for me to go to Japan, this is what I want to do, and we'll rip a title off one of them Japanese fighters, a Westerner Englishman going over there. It's like a real life Rocky story. After all this inactivity, the resilience, the redemption story, and then bringing that world title back to Channel 5 and fighting on terrestrial telly. I don't know the last world champion, legit world champion, who fought on Channel 5. It hasn't been done for very many of years. So um, it's exciting, the journey we're on, and I've got a great team to share it with too.
Yeah, I think people are starting to underestimate the sort of ability that you can show you're a lot more talent on terrestrial TV. I think people are going into sort of that pay per view, that DAZN paid for platform sort of role model that people don't realize how much you can get seen on terrestrial TV still and how big
Yeah.
a platform it really is.
Yeah, terrestrial TV is like great. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's be honest, we're living in a time that is very hard for many people. Inflation's through the roof. Everything's going tits up with being like financially, etc., and stuff like that. So why not? Like terrestrial telly, anyone can tune in. Anyone can flip through the channels and sit on Channel 5. Like it's you become a household name. That's how all the the greats back in the day become household name. Terrestrial telly in the UK. Now I'm flying. So I win that world title and bring it back to terrestrial telly. Wow, I'm an armchair fan. Like people, everyone will know me. Do you know what I mean? Like, because it's the eyes that it brings it. I can fight. I can talk. Do you know what I mean? I can play the game. I can build a fight. I can motivate people, inspire people. I've got a crazy story throughout my professional career, amateur career. So like I feel like I've as when I go to Japan and take a title, I become a superstar, and and my brand grows to a whole new level. And the fights I'll be in is even bigger than I've ever dreamed of, and that will be because of terrestrial telly.
Yeah, you say that. I think you hit the nail on the head. The armchair fan will know who you are. I think when you say that earlier fighters became stars because people were watching it on free TV and could watch it quite easily. I know my grandparents know world champion boxers from back in the day, but if I asked them to name 10 or 15 now, they wouldn't be able to tell me because people don't know and don't aren't watching it off of normal terrestrial TV. And I think that's a big thing that people sort of overlook, the fact that the casual audience, if they scrolling through their TV on a Friday night and see World Championship boxing, they're going to click on it.
1,000,000%, 1,000,000%. And you know, like when, like, let's get honest. Let's be honest now. To go to the shows and that the ticket prices are a joke. They should all be dropped. Like we're going through hard times, yeah, and the arenas ain't as packed as they used to be. There's so many empty seats about. So when you get terrestrial telly, you get a better view from your couch. Yeah, you can get 10 people or your mates round. You can sit down, order a takeaway, have a few beers if you drink. Do you know what I mean? Or a few cokes. Do you know what I mean? And like, you can have a laugh. Like, it's not traveling to and from the arena because what people don't understand is it's not even the ticket. The ticket's expensive. Then it's travel to the arena. Then it's parking. Then it's a hotel probably because the boxing don't finish till stupid o'clock, and sometimes the trains aren't on, the buses ain't on. Then it's like another 4 hour drive back to up north or something from London. It's like how you got to respect every single person, us boxers, that buy tickets and make the effort to come to our fights because it is not cheap in this modern day with everything that else is going on. So I like that I'm on terrestrial telly because I know people are there and supporting me in spirit and is putting positive energy out. And if they can watch it for free from their home comforts with their family and friends and stuff, I'm happy.
Yeah, I think that's a big problem with British boxing at the moment in general. Obviously, as I say, it's expensive, but at the same time, then travel. I think by the time that you get up there, if you're coming from, I'm live in South England, so if I'm coming up to London and I'm getting the train because me and my mates want to have a few drinks whilst we're there, you by the time that it's finished, you're lucky to get if you get the last train, and if not, you'll be waiting till 6, 7 in the morning for the next one because buying a hotel
Exactly.
is so expensive. By the time that you're spending upwards of nearly probably 200 quid in the end if you're buying a hotel, drinks, and the actual ticket to the fight. I think Eddie Hearn, I know, is bringing back sort of the 10 o'clock main event finishes, which I think is a good step in the right direction for it. I think there's a lot of issues with people because if it was just sort of ticket and maybe a train ticket up there, I'd go to a lot more fights, and I think a lot of other people would, compared to sort of what they do now, because I think it does sort of price out the normal boxing fan.
Of course, it does. It's not cheap, and like we've all got to be like aware that what's happening in the world, you know, with inflation and living costs and families and putting food on the table. Like, it's not like it used to be so many years ago, you know, where people can afford that leisure or luxury. And that's why when people come out, I'm so grateful. Do you know what I mean? And even if the people can't make it this time or apologize or say, like, I'm like, don't apologize. I said, I understand how the world is right now. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm just grateful. I know you're going to be there in spirit. You're like, you're not obliged to come my fight. Like, for me, when I box and when I perform, I thrive off energy. I thrive off good people, and whether they're in the arena and they bought a ticket to come, or they're sitting at home watching me, like giving me the shouting at the telly or thing. I appreciate every last thing, you know. I'm lucky and blessed enough that I'm a great fighter and I'm a TV fighter where I don't have to just sell tickets. So I'm in a fortunate position through all the many years of hard work that I have put in and dedicated my whole life to get me to this level. But yeah, it's good. It's also good that Eddie Hearn's bringing the the main event slot to 9 p.m. start, finish by 10. Makes perfect sense. I don't know why they haven't done that years ago. Do you know what I mean? Like, but it makes everything easier for everyone. So yeah, it's fair play to them.
And then back to your career slightly. How important is it that you stay active? And with that in mind, what sort of is your ideal next fight? Obviously, you say world champion, and that's what you're looking for. But do you have any names in mind, or is there any names knocking about that you're
Um,
speaking to?
any of them can get it. Any of them. That's where I'm at. I know I can beat anyone on my day. So I've told my promoter Nissa and Keller, get onto them. They're working in the background as we speak, and they're reaching out to everyone. Everyone can get it. That's where I'm at now. I'm ready. I'm in the peak years of my career. I'm full of confidence. Um, I fear no man that can do anything to me. You know, I have faith. I believe this is my time to take over. Um, and activity is key for me. I'm not sitting out of the ring for a long time. Done that. Wore the t-shirt, got messed around, and etc. etc. But when I signed with Wasserman and decided to manage my own career and bring and be the leading kind of person in my career, I got a good contract that keeps me very active. Obviously, we want big fights. We want world titles, world title eliminators. If they do not come off, the next fight will be January, end of January, February is the next TV slot date for me in my contract. So that is the worst case, but who knows? So one of the champions might buy. I might be on the flight to Japan. I know they put on shows in December on Boxing Day and on New Year's Day, and like I'll be ready to go for that. You know, have gloves, will travel. I don't care. I know what I'm destined for, and I'm going for greatness, chasing legacy, and I'll fear no man in doing so. Um, but if that doesn't happen, then I've got my mandatory challenger I have to deal with, Paul Butler. So he's put himself in the firing line. I need like I'm not sure if you see my fight, but after my fight, I put a t-shirt on, and it had Paul Butler on it, and my old team on it. You know, and I put that on because I am the champion. Yeah, but I put that on so it was brought to the light because Paul Butler and his team. This is how the mandatory works. Yeah, applied to the EBU and put their CV in and said we would like to be mandatory for the EBU title. So the EBU go away, sit around the table, have a few conversations. Do we think he's fit to be the mandatory? They deemed Paul Butler fit to be the mandatory. But I was not the champion. I was nowhere to be seen at this time, you know? So Thomas Asomba was the champion. But what they didn't realize is Thomas Asomba had a voluntary defense. So they tried to take Thomas Asomba and push themselves as the mandatory onto Thomas Asomba. Obviously, my brother manages him. Obviously, we've been in chats, Lee Eaton, Nissa and Keller and me, and we're trying to make the fight. So EBU tried to order Asomba versus Butler and force the mandatory. So then Asomba's team got on to the EBU and said, no, hang on a minute, we're having our voluntary fight. We're going to have it against Charlie Edwards by this date. Oh, the EBU respected it and know their rule book and said, no, you're right. You do deserve a voluntary. So then they announced the winner of Thomas Asomba champion versus Charlie Edwards, challenger, will face mandatory challenger Paul Butler. Well, since Charlie Edwards become champion, my mandatory's gone missing. And what normally happens when somebody goes missing? They don't want to be found. So that's why I made sure I had that t-shirt on, because if I don't get a bigger opportunity, world title eliminator or a world title, you better believe I want my mandatory challenger. And I weren't going to allow the mandatory challenger to slip under the radar, go quiet, pull out of a mandatory spot without it being known to the public. So it weren't ever me calling him out. He called out the champion, but the champion decided it was me because I beat Thomas Somba. So they put himself in the firing line. And if that's the fight, then that's the fight. We're out to purse bids now. Purse bids have to be done by the end of the month. And if somebody does really fall off the face of the earth, then they've succeeded in going missing. Yeah. And there will be bounty out for him. So there's a bounty been set for the mandatory challenger and the champion to fight, and we'll see who bids for it. But if that's not, I don't get a world title shot, but I've got the chips. Wasserman will definitely bid for it no matter what, because we're on the Charlie Edwards train.
Yeah, and then it's nice to have those sort of options as well. Obviously, a lot of people when they're chasing a world championship is world championship elimination or bust, or even the. But now the fact that you've got a storyline that will sell well, that you've got already a little bit of the history behind, that if come February, end of January, February time, get that opportunity, that's still a big fight, a bigger fight than people would even expect, especially at this time.
Well, that's the art of it. I'm back in big time boxing now. Like, the narratives have been set. World honours, Japan, or mandatory challenger. That's big time boxing, and people are going to support me and follow me out to Japan, an Englishman ripping the title off, a real life Rocky story, or people are going to follow me getting called out by my old gym mate Paul Butler, and me being a true champion and accepting the challenge. So we've got the narrative set, and Channel 5 terrestrial telly, you're going to love it no matter what. But like you said, we have got the bargaining chips. I'm ready to take on everyone and anyone, any of the champions at bantamweight or at super flyweight. I'm chasing legacy. I want to become a full weight divisional world champion. I'm already a free weight divisional champion at major levels. English world title at flyweight, British at super flyweight, and now European at bantamweight. And that's not including all my other international intercontinental titles. So I'm a free division champion right now, but the goal is to be a full weight world champion. And the beautiful journey is I only have to take my next step one step at a time. And I'm excited.
And then we'll go across something slightly different. I recently saw you at Hitchin Boxing down in Portsmouth, supporting Ebony Jones, who put on a great show, Commonwealth title fight. How did the sponsorship of her career come about, and how important is that to you?
It was just something to be honest, it's something my wife wanted to be a part of. My wife's a nutritionist and a sports psychiatrist, cognitive behavioral therapist, and she's very good. She's one who's brought me to the light. She's the one who's worked wonders on me through many, many years of hard works and kept me believing in that. And it was something that she wanted to do. She got a phone call from Grant Smith's daughter and asked for some help and if you'd be interested. And my wife's a good woman, and she jumped in and sponsored the team for a little while, So it's been a great journey, and because I support everything my wife does, I chose to support what my wife was doing. So it's been a good little journey, to be fair, and it shows the levels we can operate on.
It's nice. I hope to see you a few more Ebony shows, especially down south, and hope to see you at a few shows down
Is
south.
that where you're located then, down in Portsmouth?
Yeah, I'm Southampton, so a little bit
Oh,
further
okay, not far.
the other side of
Yeah.
the coin. But yeah, I'm down sort of down south, but anywhere London or below, I'll hopefully to be at some shows if I can get to them.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, yeah, well, I'll probably see you around.
yeah,
You have to come to my next fight. I'll have to get you
yeah,
there.
100% I'll come. And then for the last few questions, so you've got obviously your four-weight world champion, and you're aiming for legacy. Is there anything else that you sort of want to tick off the bucket list? Obviously, fight in Japan was another. Is there any other sort of?
Japan is a big one for me. That is where the lightweight divisions are superstars. So to be a Westerner, to go out there and rip a title off, and then probably go back because they've got all the belts over there at my weight. That's like the division now. Like that, like like we see like the heavyweights and that in England, and everyone thrives on there. Over there, it's the opposite. So that's real big time boxing for my weight division. So that's a real big bucket list on me. America used to be on my bucket list. Not sure if it is anymore. Seeing my brother over there and that, I think UK boxing's better, to be honest with you. And Japanese boxing for the weight divisions I'm involved in is better. But yeah, man, I just want to be in big fights, big nights, build a legacy, big names, you know. And yeah, just keep enjoying what I love to do, what I've worked so hard to do, and everything will materialize. Like I just got to say, like having the faith in God's plan and the steps, do you know what I mean, that He's putting in front of me, and the journey that He kind of brought me through. And I built the resilience, built the mindset, built the confidence, built the right team around me, really soul searched within myself, um, and cleaned all my life up and everything. It's been a great journey, and it's a journey that I had to take to lead me to the dreams that I have been praying for many, many years. And we'll see one step at a time the journey that's in front of me. It's called destiny.
And then one final one from me. What one piece of advice would you give someone that wants to be in your shoes?
Surround yourself with a small, close-knitted circle, good people, positive energy. Do good. Good will come back to you. Have a clean heart. Work hard. Listen to the people you do have around you who you put your trust and faith in. But most of all, believe in yourself. Because without belief, there's nothing. You will not achieve anything. You need to really get deluded with it. You need to know what you want. You need to keep working every single day to wake up and push for it. Even on the dark days, you've asked for what you want. And them dark days that have come are because you need to get through them dark days, and you need to do these challenges, because once you get through them challenges and struggles and turmoil and tribulation, you've built something. God's give you that to test you. And once you pass that test, the light will come. But it's how bad you want it. So just wake up every day, stay positive, do your prayers, write your affirmations down, read books, get the knowledge you acquire, and the world's your oyster.
Well, thank you very much, Charlie.
Nice one. Thank you for your interview. I really appreciate it. And you know what? Considering you're a new channel and it's a journey that you're on, it was a very good interview, very in-depth interview, and you'll go a long way in this game. So keep pushing, mate.